It's a top day trade day. Joining us right now, Alan Nuckman, the superstar and chief market strategist at St. Paul Research, along with Phil Flynn, a Fox Business Network news contributor. Good to have you guys with us today for our Trader Game top day trade. Round number one, 20% off sale. Pick a sale play, any stock that is down 20% from the top.
Well, the lesson is to buy the dips and sell the rips. That's really been the story for more than a decade. And so any stock that has a major sell-off, you want to look at that from a risk-reward standpoint. And regardless of when, I like the FXI, China ETF. China had a big dive last year, and I think that's the place to catch up the overall market. One stock that really suffered, Twitter up 50%. I still think there's a lot left in it.
You might make Chinese stock money in Chinese stock, but I don't love them right now. Not right now. But I'll tell you what I do like. I still like energy. I think energy, if you look at the value of a lot of these stocks based on the rest of the S&P 500, in spite of the incredible year that they have, they're still undervalued. One that was on our list of biggest oversold was Enphase Energy, ENPH. They were down 33.9%. I think a stock like that is going to find some real value. The other thing, when you look at the energy sector, go back to the old reliables. Remember, it's just 2 years ago, nobody wanted to own ExxonMobil. They were saying it was a bad stock. Nobody's going to use oil anymore. That stock's done very well and has paid a dividend. So those are the things you want to look at.
Round number two, commodity bells ringing. Crude, copper, and lumber are the 2022 commodities to watch. What's your hot commodity?
I remember back in the old days, they used to talk about the 3 C's, right? Crude oil, copper, and cocoa, I believe it was. Those are the 3 big ones, or maybe it was corn. I don't know. Anything that started with a C, if they moved up, it was very inflationary. And if you look at what's happening now, we're in an inflationary environment, so commodities have done very good. This is part and parcel of something we've talked about before on the show, the coming super cycle in commodities. And what happens, after years of low prices and commodity, people don't invest in it. They become complacent with supplies. And all of a sudden, low prices create demand, and you have a shortage of these things. If you look at what's happening in the global economy, you throw in the COVID situation, you throw in underinvestment and regulation on producing these commodities, all of a sudden you have very, very tight supply. So commodities are in for a very big year. Now, it's kind of funny, last year or a couple of years ago, Goldman Sachs was saying, let's get rid of this commodity thing. Nobody's doing commodities. We're losing all the time. This is a dead sector. It turned out to be one of their best performing sectors last year. So it's amazing. Don't give up on commodities.
Well, the word is reflation. We're seeing a lot of these assets come back, and these are some bellwethers to watch. Crude oil higher prices is a good positive bellwether for the economy. And if you look at it technically, the target's 100. Copper's come back and made new highs, as has lumber. After that big run last year and a drop in half, it's back to new highs once again. So commodities are on the comeback, but there are also other sectors that are kind of drifting lower. So it's not everybody at one time, but these are good sectors to watch for the overall strength of the commodities market.
Round number three, art of trading. Blue chip art prices have outpaced the S&P 500 by 180% from 2000 to 2018. Is investing in the stock market an art, or is it a precise science?
Well, it just shows you that there's a lot of asset classes that moved up in the last couple of decades. It's not a bubble. It's just the fact that money's been flowing into different values. And the art sector is just another place to invest instead of stocks. Now, for me, I don't have the eye for art, but I do have the eye for charts. And looking at charts is somewhat of an inexact science. It is kind of an artful endeavor. And so that's where I use my artistic skills to evaluate what a chart looks good or bad and how to take advantage of that opportunity.
He's right. The first thing they teach you in technical analysis is that it is an art, not a science. And people can look at a chart and see different things in the same chart, the same way you can in art. But maybe art has gone too far, unless you're talking about the new kind of art. Those old masters, made with oil and stuff, they're out of style. What the biggest new art is? NFTs, non-fungible tokens. These things are going crazy, so we're in this new digital world where people are selling art. I think somebody sold a picture of their finger for like ridiculous amounts of money. It's gone crazy. So Matt, that's the area you might want to look at. NFTs, companies that create those, companies that work on those. So NFT is the art for the future.
Here's your bonus round question for today. Can you name the automaker with a market cap that has topped $100 billion for the first time ever this year?
I'm going to say Ford, because Ford was hot, and Ford had a big comeback with their electric trucks.
Tesla.
The answer is Ford. You got it right, Alan. Winner, winner, chicken dinner for you.
All right. Good job, Alan.
Thank you so much, guys. Business First AM continues right after this break.